Hi everyone, how are you? I hope you're doing well. It is the end of the month, which as always, I know you're sick of me saying this, but it is crazy how fast March went by. But it's spring, which is really exciting. I apologize if the lighting is weird in this video. It's like one of those days where it's cloudy, but also sunny, but also cloudy. So it might change a little bit. And I looked in the viewfinder and I look extremely pale. I'm not sure if this is an accurate representation of my skin tone, and I was just unaware of how pale I've gotten. Sorry if I'm like Casper the Friendly ghosting you. So I'm going to be sharing my favorites with you. I have my trusty cup of hot water. I don't know if you guys know this, but anytime I refer to tea, it's usually just hot water. I'm like obsessed with drinking it throughout the day. I feel like I barely drink normal room temperature water anymore. It's just continual hot water. That is what I'm enjoying right now. And yeah, let's go through the products. I actually don't have that many, as I always say, and then this turns into a 50-minute video, but I really don't have that many products. And one of my favorites is sort of like a group of products. So let's jump in. This is the group of products that I'm talking about. We're kind of starting off with beauty products. And this is a group of products that I've found just works really well for me on an everyday basis. And this has kind of been the only base products that I've been wearing regularly. I do mix it up with some foundations when I want higher coverage, but on an everyday basis, I find that this trio works perfectly. So I start off with the 5-in-1 natural moisturizing face sunscreen. I'm the shade Light. I've talked about this. I've talked about their impeccable skin. I really love Suntegrity products. It's kind of like the equivalent of your conventional tinted moisturizer. So it has SPF in it. This one definitely has a dewier, glowy finish. So if you're not into that, either hang on for the next two products, which sort of balance it out, or you could try the Impeccable Skin. Like I said, I have a review on both. You can check them out. But what I like to layer on top of it is my Hint Beauty Concealer. I still am using this. I've officially hit pan on the bottom here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I'm trying to finish it up because I think it expires in December of next year, so I want to make sure that I finish this. So I go into all of my spots with this. Sorry, my hair is doing some funny things today. But anyway, so then I finish it with the Well People Bio Base Baked Foundation. Now I have this in the shade 3, medium gold. I have not used it wet yet. I know that I need to get around to trying it. I just have really been enjoying it as a powder, so I haven't found a need to. And I find that this layered over top of the Suntegrity offers the perfect amount of mattifying power. It just makes it so that in the areas where I don't want to be shiny, I'm not shiny, and I get that extra amount of coverage, but I can leave the rest of my skin looking very fresh and dewy. And so it feels like I achieved that natural coverage where it still looks like my skin, it's just better, which is always wonderful. So this has kind of been a power trio for me. I would definitely recommend that you guys try it out if you're looking for a new everyday base routine that again is very natural amount of coverage, buildable, and I think would work really well if you have slightly drier to normal skin. If you have oilier skin, I would suggest swapping this product out for the Impeccable Skin because that is a more matte finish, and then you'll need a little bit more of this powder. I think because I'm having a rough skin month, I must just be really gravitating towards base products and concealer products because the only other makeup favorite that I have is a concealer, and this is the Clove and Hallow Conceal and Correct, I believe it's called, in the shade 02. And I did a video on Clove and Hallow and first impressions earlier this month, I think, or last month, and I have just been loving this concealer. It's the perfect amount of coverage for under my eyes. I'm not going to say that it doesn't crease because I've barely ever found a concealer that doesn't crease unless I like pack on powder over top of it, and then in like an hour or two I kind of feel like the concealer doesn't look that good anyway. So I tend to not even put powder over this. I just like let it apply, I let it settle into wherever it's going to settle, and then I just take my fingers and kind of blend it out, and I find that that's enough to keep it relatively creaseless for the rest of the day. For me, what's really incredible about this is just the brightness that it brings to my face. I just find that my under eye area has gotten quite dark, and I'm not sure if that's because my skin tone has gotten really pale, so maybe the blue under my eyes just showing a little bit more. Maybe I'm sleeping less. I don't really know what's going on, but I do have a slightly darker under eye right now, and I find that this really helps to kind of correct that and bring light back into my face, which is wonderful. This is probably a shade lighter than I would use on my actual like spots around my face, but certainly for under my eye, it's wonderful. I feel like it's really impressive coverage and it lasts a really long time, so super happy with this. Take a little water water break. I sometimes feel like I don't really breathe during these videos. Like I get so excited about the products that I'm talking about. I just talk so fast. And then when I'm finally done talking about a product, I'm like, like trying to get all of my air back. I don't know if you can tell that I am a bit of a product junkie and get very excited over stuff, but in case you couldn't tell, that's why. So like I said, not too many beauty favorites. That's actually it for me. And then I have a couple of skincare slash body favorites. I don't know if you'd consider one of them skincare, but the first one is actually just a trial size of a product. I really would love to get my hands on the full size of it. This is the Josh Rosebrook Hydration Mask. I went to Credo, which is a local beauty store to me, and they gave me a sample, and it was just like a little sample, but it has lasted me so long, and in fact, I probably have like 1 or 2 more uses in this. It is an incredible formula. So I have talked about this before, but I suffer from dry skin during the winter, and dry skin that causes a lot of texture, not like dry flaky texture, but actual texture and like bumps underneath my skin, which is super frustrating. And so I've been using this probably once or twice a week for the entire month of March, I'd say. And I swear when I apply this at night and I sleep with it and wake up the next morning, it is incredible what it's done to my skin. The amount of texture, the amount of inflammation has gone down. My skin feels incredibly smooth, a feeling that lasts for a long time. My skin feels very hydrated for at least 2 to 3 days after wearing this mask. I'm not really sure like what is in this that it makes it so magical, but I am down for it. I am excited about it. I've just found that this really works for my skin. It's a very interesting formula. It's a slightly grittier balm formula, and then when you apply it to your face or on your fingertips, it starts to melt and warm up, and you're able to massage it onto your skin. It doesn't make your skin look particularly greasy. However, I wouldn't recommend putting makeup over the top of it. I think it would slip right off your face, but this has just been incredible. I'm so sad that this sample is almost done. I definitely want to get the full size. It's just been such an incredible product find for this winter and my dry winter skin. So the next product is from a brand called Primally Pure. This is a brand that I actually discovered on Instagram. I have here their deodorant in geranium, which is a really beautiful scent. It's a stick deodorant. It smells really wonderful and it works so well. So this is what I meant by like, I don't know if you consider this a skincare product. There are ingredients in here that are super nourishing for your skin. So you're kind of getting this like best of both worlds. You are neutralizing odor and you are getting nice ingredients for your armpit area, which is a very sensitive part of your body. This is actually made in California, which I thought was pretty cool. And yeah, I've just been so impressed by how effective this is. I was using the Wyleta 24-hour Rose deodorant, and that was working for me for a long time. And then just the past couple of weeks, I've noticed that I sort of haven't been able to get like I don't know what to call it, just like a scent off of my skin that I don't really like. And so I thought I would switch up my deodorant and see if that would help, and it definitely has. So I don't know whether the Rose one is just not working for me right now or what's going on, because I still think that's a great deodorant. But I was happy that when I switched over to this, the scent was totally gone. And yeah, I've just been really enjoying this. It's super comfortable. I haven't noticed it transfer on clothes, although because it is a white formula, I do think you need to be careful if you're wearing something black. It just really glides onto your skin. It melts straight on contact, so you're not gonna get those like weird rolly balls, and it's not gonna feel dry or rough on your skin. So if you're looking for a new stick deodorant, I would definitely check them out. Again, the brand name is Primally Pure. They're a California-based brand. I will link their information down below. But yeah, super happy with this. I don't know if they have other scents. And actually, I'm pretty sure they do. I think I saw on Instagram that they have different scents. But this one smells wonderful. I'm usually not a scented deodorant person, although I do use that Rose one. But I'm usually not a scented deodorant person. I like unscented things. But this is a super subtle scent. And I just find it really fresh and really nice. So I'm really happy that this is working for me, because deodorant is an important thing to find. And I've done a whole review on natural deodorant, so you can go check that out to see what worked for me and what didn't. But it's definitely an area with a lot of trial and error. So if you still haven't found a good one, don't worry, keep trying. I promise you they're out there, and when they work, it feels so rewarding because you know you're putting something great for your body on your skin instead of like a whole bunch of nasty chemicals in such a sensitive area. So go check this out if you're looking for a new deodorant. So that's kind of all of my product favorites. The next favorite is something that I've talked about before, but I've not explicitly said is a favorite, so I thought I would drop it in here because I really used it a lot this month. And this is actually on my iPhone. This is the app Audible. So I have a bit of a commute to work, so for me it takes like a decent amount of time to get from point A to point B. So there's a lot of hours where it's nice to have something to listen to. And I have just blown through books this month on Audible. I've read 3 really good ones. They're very different. So the first one that I read was Circe, which was really wonderful. It is, if you're into Greek mythology, it's a great book. Even if you're not and you're into sort of stories, I think you would really like it. It's basically all of these Greek myths from Circe's perspective. Yeah, it's just super good. I don't want to like give too much away, but I really liked it. I did find that the beginning was a little bit slow and I wasn't super into it. And then all of a sudden I got so into it and literally listened to it all in like a week. So that was a really good book. After that, I switched over to a different genre and I listened to Bad Blood, which is the story of Theranos. And I live in the San Francisco Bay Area, so sort of like Silicon Valley, land of the startup. So it was really interesting to hear about Theranos, and then just coincidentally, HBO did a documentary on it later this month, so I ended up watching that too. And it was cool having kind of the background knowledge of the book, which was really interesting, and then watching the HBO documentary. So look into that if you're into true stories. And then the last book that I read was Unbroken, a World War II story, and that was an incredible book. I don't even know like how to start saying it. Again, I didn't get hooked right away. It took me a little while to get into it. I think it's just something about getting used to the voice that's reading it. And then you kind of feel like you build a relationship with the voice and you enjoy hearing it and all of that. But in the beginning, sometimes it's a little bit of a transition. But anyway, so Unbroken, it's a really incredible book. It follows one man's journey in World War II. He was on the front lines of the like Pacific half of that war, and it's just absolutely incredible everything he overcomes. He was a prisoner of war. He was stranded for weeks at a time out in the middle of the ocean, and just all of these awful things that have happened to him or things that he's had to overcome. And I think it just really shows like the power of the human body and what we can handle both physically and emotionally. Yeah, it was just a really incredible book. Definitely worth reading or listening to. But yeah, I've just really been enjoying Audible. I've been blowing through books, like I said. The next book that I'm listening to, which Jared recommended, is The Tattooist of Auschwitz, which obviously takes place during the Holocaust, so I'm sure that this will be a sadder book. But if you're looking for just like a good story, start with Circe. I think you'll really like it. And yeah, so anyway, so those are the books that I've listened to. Like I said, Audible is kind of a favorite. I just think it's a really great resource, and if you're someone like me and you have a long commute or you spend a lot of time in the car, or even if you're like home and you just like to have background noise, it's kind of like tuning into a radio program. It's just really nice and you don't have to stare at a screen, and it's a little bit less mentally taxing than actually reading a book. So I find that it's easier to get through books this way, but my goal is to start reading more too. So gotta find a balance. But anyway, those are all my March favorites. I would love to know if there's anything that you have particularly been loving, whether it's like a food or a movie, a TV show, a book, a service, a product, whatever it is, I'd love to know in the comments down below. I really appreciate all of your continued support. It's kind of crazy. We hit 4,000, which is just nuts. Like, absolutely nuts, because I started with 0. Okay, I started with 1 follower, which was Jared, and then I think I got some members of my family to join too. So maybe I started with like 5 to 7 people, and now our community is over 4,000 strong, which is insane. So thank you guys so much for your continued support. If you are new to my channel, make sure to subscribe down below for weekly videos always featuring clean green beauty. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you all had a wonderful month of March, and we'll have an even better month of April. And hopefully all of us will have beautiful spring weather to look forward to. I'm definitely ready for a little bit of warmth and a little bit of sun for some extra vitamin D. So that is it for me. I will see you guys next week, and thanks again for watching. Bye!